Hey, creative friends. This is Rebecca. Hey, I hope everybody's doing well, and I have a little something different to show you today. And I am so excited. I feel like I'm becoming a real YouTube channel because I have just been given the opportunity to unbox this and show you this particular device. I was sent this free of charge just to be able to show you and try it out. And I'm so excited. Again, don't worry, I'm only ever going to show things that I'm interested in. So in the same general guidelines of my channel, just great gadgets and working with technology and learning coding. And so whenever I saw this, I absolutely love lights and anything that's automated with lights. And then this particular device is used to help teach people coding, which is fantastic. And so it turns out MBlock, or Makeblock, I'm sorry, Makeblock has been around for many years, and they focus on tools and gadgets and toys to help with STEM learning and just teaching really anybody great opportunities to learn coding. And so this is just real intriguing to me. I'm really anxious to see what the gesture control is about. But we'll be able to connect this to Wi-Fi and use an app to program it. And I'm just so excited to get to demo this and then show you what I think. So we're going to go ahead and unbox this. I've already taken off the wrapper just so we didn't have any glare. But I'm getting ready to open this and I will show you what comes in the box. All right, excellent. So we have some instructions. And this was packaged very nicely and wrapped up. It looks like we've got a couple of components. Yeah, awesome. All right, so I'm just going to take a look at these parts and then we will try them out. Oh, nice. So nice heavy base, wooden base there. Very nice. Looks like a remote. Or this is a remote. Oh, very cool. So this is a very sturdy, thick acrylic. It's got this protector on it. I don't know if you can see it, but we've got a cool looking dinosaur. And then this must be the rainbow that it came with a protective cover on the acrylic. And some more pieces of acrylic. Okay, so straight out of the box, you put in whichever piece of acrylic you want in your base, and then you hook up to our controller device here, and then the USB cord, all of the cords, both cords are supplied. USB goes into something to give it some power, so I currently have it plugged into my laptop there. And you could also plug this into any kind of power device. And then it looks like it has some pre-programmed modes in there. So oscillating between different colors or a rainbow effect. And I think if we, I'll go in and read some of the instructions, but we can change it from one mode to another. And the lights are actually embedded in the base. Nice and bright LED. And then as you put the acrylic on top, it lights up the edge of the acrylic and just lights the lights go through the acrylic. So it's so pretty. And it's so nice that they gave you several sheets of this nice sturdy, thick acrylic. And so again, I'll unwrap the rainbow here, and they gave us some extra pieces. So if you have some sort of etcher or laser engraver, or I think even probably like the Cricut etching tool they have maybe would work, or just by hand get something to scratch a design in the acrylic. And so it looks like they've given us several sheets of practice acrylic, or just to make your own designs. So very cool. But anyway, here we have the dragon in here right now. And these lights are so bright. Very, very pretty. Alright, so I'm going to go in and learn about what the different modes are. But then just straight out of the box you can hook it up and get it to glow. And it turns out there's going to be 2 apps that come with it that you can control the light. And then there's a separate program that you can put on your PC to program the light. So apps to control it, and PC program to customize it. And then so you create the code, download it to the device. And so I'm going to see how that works. That's very cool. So this is in gesture control, and so I can go back and forth between all these pre-built-in settings. So that's really neat. You could use that maybe as like a proximity sensor, motion sensor, have it change from one mode to another. All right, so I still haven't looked at the app or the computer program yet. One thing to be aware of is you will need one of these coin cell batteries if you want to use this tiny little remote control. And so they give you this cute little screwdriver to be able to put a battery in. And so you'll have to get these sourced locally. There's very strict rules for shipping items with batteries, and so it's best to just get these locally. And pick this one up at Dollar Tree, 2 for $1. And so it's these CR 2025 3-volt batteries. And it's a little bit tricky to get this open, but this does slide out, and it tells you on the back here, you push up and out, and then this will slide out. You can see this little kind of springy piece there keeps it nice and snug, so you kind of have to push up and out, and then just slide your battery in, and we can put that back in, and then take this little tiny screw and put it back on carefully. Okay, now that I've got the battery in this tiny remote, then you can cycle through all of the different features that are built in by default. And online there's a good guide of what all the different buttons on this remote do. But just real quickly, you can cycle through the different effects using the forward and backward button, and fairly straightforward. So I wish I could show you just how pretty this is. It's hard to convey on this camera, but it's just such beautiful light, and these patterns are very, very cool. And so it can oscillate between all the colors, or you can change it to kind of this rainbow mode. And again, that is so cool, radiating in and out of the rainbow. Of course, you can put different acrylic sheets on here, and it will look different with the different shapes. Just kind of a soft glow there. Oh, that's cool. But I'll try to go through some of these settings too with the lights out, so you can hopefully see how pretty this is. That's neat. That's a nice soothing light. Oh, very pretty. All right. So anyway, many different modes that it comes with by default preset. And then I haven't played around with a phone app a whole lot, but the phone app is very straightforward. It allows you to connect to your device via Bluetooth, and then you can change the color if you want a solid color, and you can change between these different modes. There's even a mode that will react to music, and so you can have a dance party with your light going. Lots of fun settings. All right. Oh, and then this is cool. They give you this marker that writes probably like a dry erase marker, but it writes in white. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I just put Makerspace Happy Place, and I think I went down a little too far. So keep it at that level, because that's how far it's going to sink down into the wood base. But it just to show you the effect that gives, and that is very, very cool. Again, I'll try to get some better lighting so that you can see that, but just with some simple markers, you can get some cool effects on there. So again, they do give you several extra pieces, and if you have something to engrave and etch into the acrylic, that would be perfect. But if not, you can get some neat effects by putting your artwork with this marker and have that light up. So in addition to their phone apps, there is a program that you can download on your computer called MBlock, and currently on version 5.3.5. And it is such a cool program to help teach kids how to code. And it's based on a program that was developed at MIT years ago, you may have heard of, called Scratch. And so it looks very, very similar to Scratch, but it is designed to work with Makeblock's devices. And so like they have little robots and things like that. And of course now we're looking at their light set. And so this rainbow night light, you can learn code of how to control it. And I just want to show you a few things. There's a lot of features in here that you can experiment with. And I think later on they're going to expand this even further to where you could come in and start learning Python with this particular gadget as well. And they definitely do that with other gadgets. But for this night light, there is a way I have already gotten it to connect to the device. And so now that it's connected, I can either create a program and upload it to the device, or I can play with it here in the live mode, and that's how I have it set now. And the way this works is these pieces, they're almost like building blocks. You can drag them into your workspace, and then they'll automatically hook together the things that will go together. So for instance here, when this is clicked, it's going to turn on all 21 of the LEDs in rainbow order. And so I'm going to pan out here because I want you to be able to see I'm in live mode. And when I double click on this, then you notice that the light did come on. And again, that color is not conveyed very well on my screen here, but it is so pretty. And so that came on, and it's going to stay on. And then you can add other blocks to this to turn them on. And it looks like each individual LED, each of these 21 LEDs can be individually controlled. And so there's components in here to turn them on for a particular length of time, and then whatever color you want and whichever LED you want, which is very, very neat and a great way to teach coding. Here I've just created another little snippet of code where whenever I click this, it's going to turn them all off. And so they are currently on. I'm going to click it, and they just went off. And so you have the ability to drag and drop these components any way you want, and they will snap together. So for instance, we could come in here and maybe we want to do something different. We can pull these apart, and we can come in and bring in a different feature. So maybe we want to turn, let's do this one. Maybe we want to drag this in, and you'll see it just snaps. Let me get my mouse here. you'll see that these pieces just snap together. And so we're going to turn maybe LED number 7. Let's pick a color. It doesn't matter, any color here. We'll maybe let it be like a green shade, and let's let that light up for, oh, maybe 3 seconds. So anyway, it just gives you the ability to come in and kind of play with that. So I'm going to pan back out and then double click that, and let's see if, yeah, so that was LED number 7, and since it had that rainbow in here, it makes it look like it carries over. I'll click it again. Yeah, very pretty. But this would have been LED number 7. Again, there's 21 LEDs in there that you can control individually. And so that's why you can, all these built-in things to where you can have these lights oscillate back and forth and kind of the strobe effect. Very, very cool. And so people could come in and learn how to do some of those features with these code blocks. And so as kids learn programming, you can, a great way to learn this is with these lights. That's always like the hello world, is just to get a light to blink whenever we're learning how to code devices. And then this is the nightlight model. But there are other code blocks in here. So sensing things, so like on the remote, if something gets pressed, a specific item, or there are some built-in IR sensors, and so if it senses something on the left or right, you can have whichever lights turn on. Here we have events, so when the green check is clicked, things like that. And then very cool to be able to start teaching people control structures, and all that is loops and if-then tests. So while something is true, repeat it a certain number of times, or you could have something loop forever, maybe blinking the light on and off forever until you were to come in and cancel that loop. If something is true, and so you can bring in a different piece that will fit in that diamond shape. And it's just very, very neat. So for instance, you bring this in, and then you can come in here and find the sensing things. You'll notice also some of these have the diamond shaped, and that means that they fall inside of the other. So all right, and so here's some pieces of code that I'm going to try to put together. So when the green flag is pressed, if remote key A gets pressed, and so we want it to wait forever until that gets pressed, and so those shapes match, and so it allowed me to put that in that block. And so now I'm going to connect these two, and then we're going to, once we press the remote, we're going to go in and turn on all the lights in that rainbow pattern again. All right, excellent. And so now let's go ahead and we'll press this, and I think it's going to wait forever, I hope. And then here I'm on the remote A. Oh, still not. So it's probably not waiting long enough in there. Again, I can't keep this going, but we can, let's see, actually that's still lit up yellow. Oh, there it goes. That is lit up yellow, and then I hit the remote and it worked that time. So let's go in and add one to turn it back off, and then we'll try that again. So when it's clicked, let's go back up here to nightlight because it's currently on. Let's go to nightlight and let's turn off all the LEDs. All right, there's other ways we could do that, but let's go ahead and just double click on this, and that turns those off. All right, now let's come back and do our first segment here. And so we're going to just click on this, and notice it's still yellow. That block has a yellow outline all the way around it, and so that block is still running. And so that way it's going to wait on me now. And so now I'm going to hit the A button. There we go. And the lights did light up in that rainbow order. So it's just a lot of fun. It's a great tool to allow people to use an external gadget. I just love it when our programming can affect our external environment. And so, you know, it's great to learn how to code on just a computer, but whenever you can make things actually happen that outside of the computer, then that's when I think it gets really, really cool. And so, of course, there's all kinds of great gadgets and sensors and things like that that allow students to learn that way. But all in all, I think my initial impressions for this device, it's just absolutely beautiful. Again, I'll finish in a dark room with some images. It's a beautiful device just in and of itself. It comes pre-programmed with lots of different features. It's got an app that's easy to use. So most any age level and any skill level would be able to have fun with it just with the app. And then for older students and kids, then they can come in and start using the block feature here to learn how to code. And there's a lot you can do in this program besides just connecting to this device. But you can use these blocks, and then eventually they are expanding into doing it straight with Python, which is very cool. So your advanced students could go in and learn Python, and they have a few devices now that it looks like you can use Python to connect to, and they may include this light too. So I will play around with that some more and then come show you later. But all in all, I think it's a great device for all ages, and it really is pretty. So it'd be just a nice night light for you, and a fun background light. All right, well, thanks so much for watching. And again, I'll try to finish with some better images here of the light in the dark.